So I was talking about dumbasses, and so I ran into this other American, and it went south so quickly,
Okay.
but it was so shocking, right? Like, Danny, so shocking. I couldn't stop the conversation because I needed to hear how low it went. So let me give you a few examples, right?
Okay.
It started with, I hope you love Trump because I think anyone that doesn't love Trump is stupid. I was like, okay. So like right off the bat, I was like, dumb. But I was like,
You know, I'm gonna keep my mouth shut, but
keep
I
your mouth
agree.
shut, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Again, I don't have a problem with conservatives. I know Trump personally. He's a horrible human being. Anyone that's ever lived in New York knows he's a horrible human being because everyone's been witnessing his horrible human beingness firsthand for decades, right? He doesn't pay people. He's not smart. He's a sociopath. Like there's so many things. He calls reporters pretending to be his own publicist named Barron or something like his child's name, or I can't even remember the name of it. And goes like, oh yeah, and like trying to do a different voice, which is almost impossible for Trump, right? Saying that like, he's a real ladies' man, aside from all the obvious things that we know about him, right? And granted, I know a lot of it is like MSNBC freaks out a little too much sometimes because a lot of it, he's a showman, right? So a lot of it he's just saying for provocative reasons. Like, I will admit that. But still should not be in charge of anything on the planet, let alone the free world.
Still an authoritarian wannabe dictator that tries to overturn the
Oh
US
my
government.
gosh. Yeah. It
tries to overthrow the US
at
government.
bare minimum, right? At bare minimum. So many other things wrong.
And also a loser. And I just want to say like how funny it is that the one thing, it was like, what did you say? You had a video that you made that was really funny, where it was like, the one thing you can't be in the Republican Party is a loser. You could be
true.
Authoritarian wannabe dictator.
Right. You can be super stupid.
An election denier.
Yeah.
You can be
ignorant.
like, you can be a accused child rapist. You could be like
right.
all these different things, but you can't be a loser.
No, you can't be a loser.
That's the one way that the Republican,
right.
that
so after these
politicians
midterms,
won't support you.
After these midterms, like, did you see his flaccid announcement for president? Which, we could, I think there are a bunch of reasons he's running that don't have anything to do with being president. However, it was like people were trying to leave and security was stopping
They locked them in. It was like the Hotel California.
It was like a sewing factory in 1922.
Oh my God, the Triangle Factory fire?
Yes, it was
That's
bad.
awful.
I know. It's terrible.
Yeah.
So anyway, so I'm talking to this guy, and that's the first thing he says. Obviously, this guy is white. I think that goes without saying. So then he starts talking about the second coming of Jesus, which again, look, I'm religious. I'm not going to argue with, but he said that it has been prompted from Roosevelt on by the dumb Democrats. Again, people love alliteration, right? So, and I'm thinking to myself, which Roosevelt? Are we going back to Teddy? Or are we going to Franklin Delano? Like, which Roosevelt? But like, it's not even worth engaging him on this. And he's going, sorry, I feel like I have like a
Both
feather
great
in my nose.
presidents, by the way.
Yeah. Anyway, so he's going, let's see, I took notes because it was like so crazy. I can't. Oh my gosh. Here we go. For me, not being a Trump supporter is a deal breaker. I respect that people have difference, and he was talking to me. He didn't know anything about me. You were highly educated, but sometimes being too educated can distract us from the truths of Jesus. I was like, I don't agree with that, but that's all right. Without saying anything bad, I was like, so I'm like, I think it's too late for that. Sorry, these are just like brief notes. I will just say I can only hope that the Lord comes quickly, because this world, under the dumb Democratic administration since Roosevelt, okay, again, didn't specify which, has done more. I'm just adding like the haves and stuff. I'm trying to like put the small notes together. So if it sounds disjointed, it's because that's how I wrote it. Has done more to aid the further progress of Satan's work.
I'm just confused.
No, it gets better. And then he starts talking. He's like, just like a piece of lint in my nose. So then he starts talking about how he's been all over the world. Like, he's been all over the world and he knows what poor people need. And I was like, oh. And then I kid you not, okay, the capper on this situation. I want you. So when I say this, I want you to take this in, okay, and understand. You got a little fluff in your nose too? Or are you just doing coke while you're doing the chapstick like coke, you shameful man? So worried about you, Danny.
You didn't see me sneaking it while you were looking away, did you?
No.
Okay, good. All right, keep going. Then he said
anyway,
what? He's been all over the world.
He knows what poor people want and poor people need. I was like, really? And he's like, yeah, I'm a CEO of a company. I worked my way up from nothing. He's like, we didn't take government handouts. We grew up on welfare. I was like, okay. Again, this was a limited interaction. At this point, right, there's no point. There's no point interjecting anything. I'm just literally standing there in what is normally like a tourist environment, just like, oh, you don't say, like it was all like very interesting. And he caps it off with, this is like the craziest thing I have ever heard in my entire life. He goes, that country, that one that's like at the bottom of Africa, I can't remember the name, the one that's at the bottom of Africa. And I'm like, South Africa? And he was like, yeah, that's it. South Africa. South Africa used to be amazing. And I was like, and I'm like, wait for it, Danny. Wait for it. Absolutely. Wait for it. And I'm like, He's like, then that Mandela got into power. I was like, yeah.
Oh my Lord.
And it all went downhill. Hold on, Danny. And then he says, the blacks literally calls them the blacks. Okay. The blacks had it so much better under apartheid.
Wow.
At that point, right? At that point, it's like, wow. Like, I can't, this isn't like a scientific experiment anymore. This guy is poison. So I was like, I think everybody that of color in that country would absolutely disagree with you.
Yeah.
And then I kid you not, he says, you seem like a nice girl, but for somebody else. Like, what?
Oh my God.
At what point was that even on the table?
Oh my gosh. But you know what? Like, that's exactly what you would expect him to say in a way.
And it made me think, it made me realize that there are so many dumb in the world that aren't Joe Rogan. Like, they're just to say, there are lots of them.
Yeah.
And, Joe Rogan obviously leads the charge along with people like Trump. I mean, Joe Rogan, like, I had never listened to his podcast, that I listened to a few of them. This guy will believe anything that's told to him if it's said in an authoritative tone, right?
Yeah. It's actually kind of funny.
It would be funny if people didn't believe him, right? If people just took it like, this is entertainment, It's like Trump on the, hey, this is just entertainment. Great. You put them in a position of power, everything goes pear-shaped, like not good, good at all. Yeah. So, yeah. So I mean, like, I want to go on Joe Rogan at some point and just pretend like I'm an authority on something, like being a cobbler, right? and just really seriously talk to him about, the leather you need to use for shoes, like the best sole leather that they used to use back in the day. And for thousands of years, is human skin. And they have a really interesting process on the way that they dry it. I mean, like, seriously, I want to like get into something absolutely bizarre and crazy.
Well, the highest quality shoe leather is actually made from mice, believe it or not. Yeah, that's why, I don't know if you know this, but New York is one of the most profound places
to make shoe leather.
Yeah, shoes.
Right. Well, it's, rats or mice. And frankly, rats have the thicker skin. The best skin on a rat is the tail, right? And it takes so many of those. You got to line them up, and then they make it like they make papyrus, right? So there's no like stitching. They just kind of press it all together in like a press, and they leave it to dry, right? But here's the best part. If you're ever really hungry, you can eat those shoes.
That's amazing. I never realized that.
Yeah, no, it's crazy. And it's because it's information suppression. It's the media. Because if the media actually cared about you, or what was good for you, or what was important to you, they would tell you about the rat tails, because there may come a time in everybody's life, when the Democrats blow up the planet with their stupidity. Oh, by the way, quick break. This guy actually said, that idiot Biden that's in charge. I was like, mm-hmm. And the first thing he did was stop the Keystone Pipeline. And that's why gas is so expensive. And this was at the very beginning. And so this is where I was like, well, actually, that's not the cause of the higher gas prices at all.
Yeah.
The president and Congress, because then he talked about Pelosi's Congress. And I was just like, they actually have absolutely no control over oil prices, right? These are set globally by an institution called OPEC. And basically, that was the Gulf states, that provide a lot of oil, grabbing us by the short and hairies, just like saying no. I mean, like it had, and by the way, the Keystone Pipeline.
It's such a huge combination of so many different factors, including like Russia and OPEC.
But yeah, I was like the ignorance of and I was like, how much Fox News is this guy watching? So I was like, yeah, the Keystone Pipeline had nothing to do it. And he's like, well, you got your facts and I got mine. And I was like, yeah, okay. So that's when I decided at that point that I was just like, I'm just going to write this one out. Listen, I'm going to see what this guy has to say. It's going to be real insight into a different demographic than I'm.
The funny thing about all this, though, is that they'll believe things like there are cat litter boxes in school bathrooms.
Oh, and the whole grooming thing and the predators. I'm like, what are you talking about? If it were the gay part that made you like a groomer and a predator, well, then every gay person would be a groomer and a predator. It doesn't hold. Like, the theory does not hold water for so many reasons.
It's, you know what? Hopefully now with the midterms having gone the way that they went, I'm praying that the Republican Party takes a turn to be a little bit less authoritarian, decides to respect democracy, like just a tiny bit more. That'd be really cool. And
never going to happen.
Yeah, we'll see.
Do us a favor for Thanksgiving and for my birthday, please. Share this podcast with a few other people. If everyone does that, it would be great. Because one thing Danny and I would love to do is able to make even $1 off of this. We do it for free anyway. Like, we love you guys. Like, it has nothing to do with but it would kind of be awesome if, we could even get like $30 out of it. So,
I think we've made about like $26 in revenue total.
Okay. Yeah. But how much did you put into advertising?
That's not profit. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like when we're talking about all the things that we've spent.
Right.
We're far into the hole. So like the video, subscribe on the podcast platforms.
Exactly.
On YouTube.
For me, if you want to go on my link tree on Instagram, like also, I think it's 99 cents. Go buy my comedy special, right? You want to help me out? Go buy my comedy special. Book a cameo. Do something like that. Mm-hmm. I don't want any handouts, but I'll work for the money. I work for it. I work for it, and that's okay. It's like I said. Sometimes you just got to be humble and you got to ask for help.
Yep. There we go.